Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, welcome to a new day. It's a new day and it's a beautiful day. We are out getting our workout in bright and early this morning on an empty stomach before we start filling up. It helps to not eat so much. Breakfast is break fast. We all fast, whether we think we do or not. Some people say, "Oh, I've never fasted before." But we all fast because we all sleep. And if nothing else, during our sleeping hours, we are fasting. Good morning. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you all for being here. How are you doing this morning? Journey, good to see you. And it's supposed to be 60 something out here. Oh, 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 goodness. Something in the tree I walked into because you can't see the stuff. That's why people ask me, how come you got something on your head? Is anything wrong? Yeah, it's bugs out here. Hello, Carol. Good morning. Good morning. Whew, yes. Whatever that was dropped down and it hit me in my face. I feel like it's still there. Whew. I hate when I walk into something from the trees, but you can't see the stuff most of the time. It's just, you just walking. No, I don't know if it's a cobweb, spider web, or some other kind of creature feature web. Yes. Hello, Mom. Welcome in. Welcome in. Good morning, Miss Pamela. I am doing fantastic today. I am doing really, really well. You saw my title, it says Mind Over Matter. And I'm just thinking about things that are actually not necessarily in your mind, but you can have control with your mind. One of those things that comes to mind when I think about mind over matter is fight, flight, or freeze. That's a survival thing that all of us do. It's like when you go into panic mode, so to speak, survival mode, whether you feel like you're in danger or if it's an accident or whatever it may be. Our first responses, although we may not look at it like that, is to fight, flight, or freeze. When you hear people that are in certain situations, survival mode, and they do things that seem supernatural. Like, I didn't know I could pick that up, or I didn't know I was going to be able to carry that, or I didn't know I was going to be able to walk that far. Yes. Good morning. I didn't know I was going to be able to do any of that. That's when that adrenaline picks up, but it's like a smoke detector in your head has gone off and is signaling the right parts of your body to be prepared for whatever situation you're in. Have you ever seen a wild animal? This is why they tell you sometimes if you encounter a wild animal to freeze, okay? Because the wild animal typically is doing the same thing. It's freezing. First, it's trying to figure out, do I fight or do I flee? What is my best survival method? What's going to save me? And sometimes it doesn't even have to be in survival mode. Sometimes you can just simply be in a heated conversation with someone, and those same three things will kick in. That's how people abruptly leave the room when they are in a heated conversation. Because when you abruptly leave the room, That's telling you that your best tactic to survive whatever conversation is going on is to leave, to get out of Dodge, to walk away. That's your best mode of survival at that time. Hey, how are you, Nuna? Welcome in. Welcome in. Yes. Thank you for being here. Let me see who else I might have missed. Hey, Wanda, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Carol is in the house. Yes. If I missed anybody, my apologies. Because I'm walking, I can't necessarily see on a regular basis what you all may be saying, the chat you may be in, or anything of that nature. I'm going to let these people go past me because I'm not walking nearly as fast. Good morning. Good morning. I'll let you go by as well. Good morning. Okay, I was just letting everyone go by because I'm not walking nearly as fast and I don't want to be in anyone's way. Yeah, so it tells you you're assessing the situation quickly in your mind. You don't necessarily know it, but your brain is signaling the right parts of your body, okay? If it's freeze, sometimes you become motionless. That's when sometimes people say they just zoned out. They didn't really zone out. They're in defense mode of freeze, okay? And sometimes people think, oh, it's a shame. I couldn't believe it. I just sat there and I didn't do anything. It's nothing to be ashamed of. That's your own personal defense mechanism kicking in, letting you know what you should and should not do. And so therefore, when it kicks in, you kind of have no choice because your brain is telling you, freeze, or your brain is telling you, fight. Have you seen, back to the wild animal, have you seen a wild animal before? All of a sudden, or even just on the Discovery Channel or Nature Channel, a nature program about animals in the wild. And when they hear something that's not the normal sounds for the area they're in, the normal sounds that they're accustomed to hearing every day, they have a keen sense of hearing. First thing they do is they freeze. They freeze, ears go back, heads up, and they're looking, which does not require movement other than your eyeballs. They're looking and listening. They're deciding, what is my risk factor? Do I need to, feet don't fail me now, or do I need to fight? They're assessing whatever predator there is. They're assessing it to say, do I think I can win? Do I need to stand my ground? Or do I just need to go? Or do I need to just stand here until they go? And it's all about mind over matter. And mind over matter goes for a lot of things. Okay? I believe, and this is my personal belief, that sometimes when we become sick or ill, the depth of that sickness or that illness is all about mind over matter. Yes, first and foremost, we pray. We pray, but then we have to get our own mindset together. Because I ain't seen nowhere in the Bible where it says, pray and do nothing. Just don't do nothing. Now, you might feel you have a directive from God to do nothing, which is a viable situation to be in. But faith without works is dead. So that's where your mind comes into play. And you have to be mindful of what you're doing, what's going on, what your situation is, and you have to say to yourself, and you have to say out loud, and you have to say to others, and you have to stop people in their tracks. And this is the big one. You have to stop other people in their tracks when they're trying to say negative things, put negative words on you, giving you negative energy. You have to learn to stop them in their tracks. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're not doing that. Good morning. You're saying, whoa, 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 we are not doing that. Because that's your mind. They're putting it in your mind. This is why, as a content creator, they say, stay out your comments. Because people say all kinds of things in the comments. Even in my comments. Y'all will be amazed if I could read some of the stuff that people have said about me in my comments. Oh my God. If I didn't have a thick skin, I wouldn't be walking with y'all today, because I would not still be on any social media. Okay? Because I have been called everything but the child of God. Good morning. But you see, it don't bother me because I know whose I am. Okay? And like I said, I have a thick skin, so I don't really pay any attention to what other people have to say. I never have, even as a child. I think I got that from my mom. I was gonna say I got it from somebody. It would be my mom. Let me get across the street. There's one car come by, the second car, because they speeding up. You know how you get across the street and cars come and they start speeding up? I guess they're trying to beat you like they gonna beat me anyway. Oh my gosh. Let me get across this street right quick. Good morning. How are you? Doing well. How are you? Good, good. Okay. Across that street. That's the big street that I have. Well, it's not big, but it's 4 lanes across. So I kind of stopped talking when I crossed that, because I have seen people. It's also off of a corner. I have seen people turn that corner and go down the wrong side of the street. Jesus. I'm like, can't you see where that big median is in the middle of the street? But okay. Yes. So tell me in the comments if you all ran across situations where you were in a serious mind over matter situation and you had to get out of it with the right mindset. With the right mindset. Amen, says Hope. Yes, you have such a good spirit. Thank you, Sheila. I appreciate that. Let me see what else everybody is saying. Let's see. Nuna says, that's good, Pam. Wish I had that in my childhood. I got it when I was in college. Yes, better late than never. Doesn't necessarily matter when. I was just think I was born like that. I wasn't even in school yet. I had not started school. I was probably about 2 or 3 years old. My sister had started school. And she was in kindergarten or 1st grade. I don't remember. Could have been 2nd grade, because we're quite a difference in age. She came home from school one day crying. My mama was trying to talk to her, trying to find out. Apparently, somebody had called her a name at school. And at 2 or 3 years old, I told her, you better go back to school tomorrow and fight for your rights and quit crying. And I've been like that all my life. I've been like that all my life, you know? And so I don't really pay attention to what other people say. If I did, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today, because I'm telling you, the comments will beat you up. And I hear people all the time talking about, I had to stop because the people in the comments, You know, I'm sorry, I just can't go there. That's a whole nother live talk. That is a whole nother live talk. Yes. Whew. Let me see. Let me see. Well, I'm glad you all are here. Keep in mind that those three things are survival, fight, flight, or freeze. You have to assess the situation. Even me walking, if something came about me, I need to assess the situation quickly. Okay? Do I just freeze and stand still? Do I say feet don't fail me now? Or do I stand there and use everything I got and stand my ground and fight till I can't fight no more? Okay? And we have to think about those three things, even when it comes to bugging out. And bugging out, I talk about that a lot because it's something that I believe everybody should be prepared for. But bugging out isn't always a disaster, okay? Sometimes there could be something as a gas leak in your area, which I mean, if ignited, could be disastrous, but you know what I mean. It could be something as simple as a gas leak and you have to evacuate. If there's a storm brewing, okay, there's a storm coming. I can't say that word this morning. There's a storm coming as I speak off the Atlantic. And I'm way far inland. So thank God I've never been touched by hurricanes or anything because I live so far inland. But we get the aftermath and we get the beforehand, if you want to have a beforehand. Once there's a tropical storm coming and it's prominent that it's going to hit, every store in a 50-mile radius is empty because people have driven, especially the people who want to hunker down and stay. They have literally driven 5 and 6 hours to come inland to get all the supplies they need because they know we have the supplies because we don't have the storm coming. And they take the supplies back home, but we get the aftermath, meaning if there's a hurricane or something, and if it's bad enough, it'll rain for days here. We get the high winds from it. So, but it doesn't actually reach us because we're so far inland. But it doesn't have to be a serious disaster like that. And the one thing that I always question is, and some of you all may do this, and maybe y'all can explain to me why you do this. This is when it comes to canning and preserving food. I know people that have like a whole bedroom size of canned foods and preserved food. No, canned, meaning they can them. They're in glass jars. That's where I'm going with this. They're in glass jars, okay? And it's like 10 years worth of food. Okay, on one hand, I completely 100% understand. You want to be prepared and the food will last, so you don't have to go nowhere, you don't have to do anything. But if there is a natural disaster or any kind of disaster, everything you can is gonna probably be gone. Just like houses fall down, the canned goods ain't gonna be there. Furthermore, if you have 10 years worth of food stored up in case you will need it, then to me, and this is the part I don't get, in reality, you've got about 20 or 30 years of food stored up. And the reason I say that is because to me, if there's a disaster or if there's a situation where I can't go out, there it goes again, something else I've walked into. I can't go out to the store. The stores are closed. I have to stay home. I have to eat what I have to eat here. And I can't get anything else. know about y'all, but I'm not going to be eating 3 meals a day. I probably won't even eat 2. I probably won't eat 1 most days. I don't think I would be in a big eating mode. That's why I also tell people to learn to fast. And even if I am eating 3 times a day, I'm probably not going to be eating the same quantity that I eat. So that means I don't need 20 years worth of food stored up. 5, because 5 would give me about 10. I'm not going to be eating all that food every day, all day long. No. I'm going to be trying to constantly assess my situation and figure out how can I do better, get out of it, what's coming, what's not coming. I'm going to be here. I think I'm walking now. I'm going to be in my house, working out, exercising, building as much strength as I can. I ain't going to be thinking about food. But that's just me. That's just me. I can only eat 2 or 1 times a day. Hey, Gigi, welcome in, Gigi. Y'all go check out Gigi's Natural. Girl, let me tell you, those sweet potato slips. Now, we are not big potato people in my family. We like potatoes, we eat potatoes. Sweet potatoes, we like the pie. We like them candied. I like them sometimes. I don't really think I like them well enough to grow them. But baby, when you was talking about those sweet potato slips and you was holding them up and that's potato, girl, I was like, oh, I need some sweet potato slips. I need to grow some sweet potatoes. Knowing good and well, we're not going to eat them like that. But oh my God, girl, yes. That was a good one. That was a good one. Hey, Jackster, yes, too many carbs though. Yes. Okay, from Florida, 10 days, no power. Learn to have gas for emergency. And you're right, not to hunger. Exactly. When it's a disaster, you're not going to be like, oh, I need me some steak. Girl, your little tuna, maybe a half a can at that. You'll be eating to survive. Like, okay, let me eat something because I know I don't have anything on my stomach. You probably won't even be hungry. And I'm like, okay, preserve. But I don't think it's necessary to go off unless you are preserving for a large family, unless you are preserving for a neighborhood or anything along those lines. If that's the case, preserve as much as you can if you are doing it for others. Good morning. But in my case, it's me and my husband. And yes, I have children. If something happened, they probably would come over. But they all of us put together probably still wouldn't eat like that. And so I just wonder about that. I just wonder about that canning food for 20 years, okay? I'm sorry, all right? And I know you got to rotate it, but when you going to rotate if you're constantly eating regular food or just, eating what you grow? That's a big question I've always had. Let me turn this light on. I'm trying to get across this street. Oh, good. He let me by. Thank you. Oh, they letting me by too. Let me hurry up and get on across this street. Hold on, y'all. Thank you. There's a light you can push to get across the street. That street I just crossed is huge. And there's a light you can actually push. And I pushed it. But it's a yellow light. And the yellow light says, yellow light flashing. They may not see you. I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, what's the point? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. But they let me by, so I went to hire. I do not like when people let me by to cross the street and then I take my time. That's not right. That's not fair to them or anything else. So I just wanted to put that on you all's mind to think about. Mind over matter, fight, flight, or freeze. Think about that. Think about that and get yourself ready. Make sure you're ready that if you need to fly, because see, if you need to fly or flight, that's how people say, oh, I didn't know I could run like that. Baby, when that adrenaline gets going, and the signals come from your brain, they go straight to your legs. And feet don't fail me now becomes your survival. And you wouldn't believe how far or how fast you can run or walk or crawl. It's amazing. The strength that comes upon us when we need to. But it's nothing like getting ready and being prepared. Exercise, work out, and relax. You cannot build muscle without downtime. So don't think you're going to work out and exercise or even walk every day of the week without rest. Your body will not build anything. You'll not get stronger. You won't gain anything if you do not rest. That's why when people go to the gym, if you have a trainer or you read anything about it, you'll have an arm day and a leg day and a this day. And you might have a full body workout day. But the reason you have that is so the day you work your arms, the next day your arms are at rest. Doesn't mean you're not going to use your arms at all, because you got to use your arms even just to fix the weights. But you're not working out because you have to have that day of rest. We all have to have our day of rest. So do not forget, no matter what you are doing, do not underestimate how small your efforts may be, because every effort is an effort towards a goal, no matter how small. And if you connect all those efforts together, you'll have your goal met. It may take time, but it's all doable. Some people will get there faster than others. Do not be discouraged. Their journey is their journey. Your journey is your journey. And each of us have our own journey. I'll see y'all next week. Have a blessed weekend. Thanks for coming. Don't forget to hit subscribe and check out my other channels, Cooking at Pam's Place, The Scaredy Cat Gardener, and Pam's Pop-Ups. Love y'all. See y'all later. Bye-bye.